with your legs raised up in the air, pointing upwards towards the ceiling. I need to let you know that this is a deep impact position. Now your man will be standing, right? Your man will be standing facing you. You're down here, turned upward with your legs up on the bed, all right, with your feet or with your legs open and spread out, and then your knees bent. But like I always would say, just because it looks exotic does not mean that it provides more satisfaction. You know, lovemaking can be sometimes boring and monotonous, especially if you're that adventurous of a couple. You're the one doing the thrusting. That will sort of help in supporting you if he's holding your legs. So if you're both grinding against each other, then he can hold onto your legs quite tightly to increase the friction. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I come with a lot of juicy content. And on today's episode, I'm going to be churning out some unique love-making positions that couples have been neglecting. And these positions can ultimately spice up your boring bedroom activities and just basically take it from 0 to 100 in a minute. Did I say Merry Christmas to you guys? I am still working. We're not going on a break this month, okay? So without wasting time, here is what I call the socket position. This position looks similar to the scissor sex position. And the reason is simply that it's a variation of a scissor sex position. And just as it implies, you and your man will be in a scissors position, just like this. Now, to perform the socket with your man, all you need to do is start off by lying on your back on the bed, all right, with your feet or with your legs open and spread out, and then your knees bent, and then you're planting your feet on the bed. This will allow you raise your waist and your lower back of the bed. And your man is going to lie on his side at the opposite side of the bed, with his joystick closest to your feet or your pubes and his head farther, away. Now, your man will then move down towards you so that he can enter you from this position. If he's lying on his right side, then he's going to slide his right leg under your left leg and put his left leg over your right leg. Then to enter you, he will need to push his joystick downwards, which can cause a bit of a strain and discomfort if his member is not that flexible or long enough. But if his joystick is long enough and, flexible, then he can just hold your leg that's across him for support and then thrust you by pulling himself up and down or in and out, which is sort of difficult. Now, in case you're wondering what the girl does in this socket position, I wonder no further, because I know that you will be in a position that you may have never tried before. But after a few minutes, you should get the hang of it. You should get used to it. Now, what you'll be doing is just simple. You are simply going to thrust forward and backward onto your man in a sort of rocking position using your leg for support. So if you're not used to keeping yourself raised off the bed like this, then you may find this a little bit tiring. And then you would also need to spread your arms at a good position on the bed to help you balance very well and help you in rocking in and out of your man's joystick. Or you could try grabbing one of his legs to help pull yourself towards him. So if you start to get tired of thrusting against your man, then you just relax and try resting a good part of your weight on the lower leg and then grind on him instead. Now, the fun part of this position is that this position caters to your foot fetish if you have one. So if you're the type that likes to suck on toes or you have a thing for feet, so while your mate is riding on you in that socket position, you can grab their feet and play with them however you choose to, or they can play with your feet while you thrust them. Now, what the guy does in this position is quite simple, all right? Let me explain it. Have it at the back of your mind that your man will be in a bit of an awkward situation, all right? Because it will not be easy for him to thrust as he's on his side. He won't be able to thrust in and out. Instead, I would advise that he should grab hold of your leg that is in front of him and then gently pull you in towards him as you're thrusting. You're the one doing the thrusting. That will sort of help in supporting you if he's holding your legs. So if you're both grinding against each other, then he can hold onto your legs quite tightly to increase the friction, which can give you great clitoris stimulation. And another added advantage to this is that you can have a little bit of eye contact to take it or to take the whole experience to another level, which I would be honest with you, eye contact is pretty much difficult in this kind of position. You get the drift. Now, here are some things for you to consider when performing the socket position. Now, while I know that not a lot of couples have performed the socket position with their men, or not a lot of women have performed the socket position with their men, I still know that there are lots of people that have given some interesting insight on it. So if you want to give your man a back arching, toe coiling, screaming orgasms, and then keeping sexually addicted to you, then this is the way, the socket position. But bear in mind that the socket position can be quite an awkward position to perform with your man. So the thrusting can be difficult for men, all right? Because they are not usually made to thrust in that kind of position. And then if you find it tiring, keeping your waist held upwards, then try using or putting a pillow under your waist, under your back, to give you some support. I will also tell you for a fact that this is not a really intimate position. It's even difficult to make eye contact during it, like I said earlier. And similarly, kissing, spanking, and other activities that, you know, gets you really triggered or gets you really excited can be difficult when you try this position because you're directly opposite each other. Bottom line, I think that the socket position certainly looks exotic, but the only difficult thing about performing it is making sure that your man has enough flexibility in his joystick to pull it downwards. Other than that, it's just pretty straightforward, I think. But like I always would say, just because it looks exotic does not mean that it provides more satisfaction. It's just for the fun of it and to spice up your sex life, as you know, lovemaking can be sometimes boring and monotonous, especially if you're that adventurous of a couple. So this, both of you can archive it, try tonight, and see how wild memories you create in your bedroom. Then let's talk about the second position that I think can blow your man's mind away, and which is what I call the downstroke position. Now, one of the great things about this downstroke position is that your man provides a lot of stimulation to your G-spot when he gets the thrusting right. It's getting the thrusting that matters. And this is not for everyone, which is fine. Now, when performing this downstroke position, you need to start by lying on your back, on the edge of your bed or on the sofa with your legs raised up in the air, pointing upwards towards the ceiling. I need to let you know that this is a deep impact position. Now, your man will be standing, right? Your man will be standing facing you. You're down here, turned upward with your legs up. And all he needs to do is to grab your legs and pull you up towards him so that he can enter you while standing almost straight. Now, when he lifts you up and towards him, he will be lifting your waist right off the bed so that your upper back and your shoulders and your head are just resting on the bed. Now, this is what you need to do in a downstroke position. When your man is holding you like this, right? You will find it tough to do a lot of things. In fact, you're incapacitated. So you will, however, be in a pretty good position to wank yourself to pleasure. But besides this, there really isn't much for you to do besides holding eye contact with your man and driving him wild with dirty talking, like telling him out how crazy this feels, how how mad he's making you go, how gaga he's making you go. You could be talking wildly to this man, telling him how crazy he makes you feel and all of that stuff. Now, on the other hand, this is what the guy does in a downstroke position. The most important thing for your man to do in this position is not getting the angle right, or how, he thrust, how he's thrusting into you. It's how he holds you. Your man will have his hands wrapped around your thighs and he will be pulling you up towards him. And this can cause a lot of strain on your skin, which feels like really painful, like it's about to rip off. That's if he's not careful. So the first thing he needs to do is find a way to hold onto your thighs without hurting you. Now, once he has found a way to hold onto you, then he needs to concentrate on thrusting in and out. He needs to stimulate the upper wall of your juicy part, which makes thrusting horizontally best instead of thrusting up and down. Now, things for you to consider when performing this downstroke sex position. Number one, don't allow your man to thrust too hard until he has found a way to hold on to your legs without hurting you. Number two, the downstroke sex position is an excellent position because it makes it more easier for you to touch yourself to orgasm during it. And it also helps you to keep eye contact with your man while he's doing it. Number three, your man should do a little bit of experimentation with how high he should stand until he finds a really good position that you both enjoy. And trust me, if you can do these two positions if you can add these two positions in your sex life, I think that the lack of sex will not be a problem, will no longer be an issue in your marriage. All right then. Until I come your way, do enjoy the rest of your holidays. Mwah.